you mention router outlet, it will come. Okay. So first thing is you mention the paths. Second one is you mention where to come. That is fine. Now, how it will come? Like someone has to click something now. They will user will not directly go there and write slash about. They have to click a button or a link which will have about. And when they click on the link, it should come. How it will maintain that link? Now, if you see in header, I maintained something called router link, anchor tag with router link. Usually, anchor tag will have href, but instead of href, you used something called router link. What is the difference between href and our router link? Href will reload the pages, okay, but router link will not. Without reloading the page, it will load the specific content. For single page applications, we will use router link. Is it clear, ma? Three things only three things. Okay. First one is setting the paths. Second one is router outlet where you want to print. Third one is giving the paths. Simple. Giving this anchor tags and all. If you do this all, automatically it will come. How to get app.router.module? By default, it will come. Is anything ng routing and all? No. It will automatically will come. Whenever you install the application, automatically it will come, sir. If it is 16, if it is 18th version and all, we are having Angular 18th version. So that's why you will get it directly app dash routing dot module. If it is older version, what will happen? It will ask you, like it is asking me now, do you want server side rendering or client side rendering? Similarly, it will ask me, do you want routing module or not? It will ask me. Okay. If it asks me, then I have to say yes, then it will come. But for the 18th version and all, it won't need to ask. By default, it will come. Is it clear, man? Any doubts here? Now, please show me the links, whatever you have it. Let me see. Online, someone, Harshad did something. Let me open it. His link. Okay. It's looking good, whatever he did. Having some problems. The major problem is never try to put edge. See, your website should not be too edgy. It should leave some gap. Website should leave some gap, right side and left side. It should not be too edgy. Are you getting my point? The website looks too edgy, except that it is okay. Second one, whatever you see, this is called hero section. What it is called? Hero section or banner section. In banner section, how to I set, where to set? Harshad, you can check it on padding, Harshad. Check it on left side gap and right side gap padding. Make it a maximum width. Now, here, this banner section or hero section, problem is every banner section need to have at least one button, because user will come, mostly people whoever come to see your website will see this section only. They will try to get impressed by this section, right? How do they get impressed? See, first thing, so much gap. Second thing, it is hard to read when it is end. Third thing, okay, imagine they really get impressed. Then how do they contact you? Do you think user will go and contact? No. You should put a button here, contact, to make them go to contact easily. Are you getting my point, ma? Always you should give one button in the header banner to make them easily go. Now, if I click on about paging, this is looking good. Projects, all projects are coming. Not bad. Contact form is coming. Good. Resume, make the resume download. This resume, make it download. Click an anchor tag, put it as download. Simple. This is good. Looks nice actually. Netlify.app. Because if you can able to do this much means almost you can able to complete the Angular applications, right or not? Okay. Someone, I think Usha did this application. Welcome. That's nice. About, see, same thing. Left side 2HG. Our mission, vision, values meet our team. It's good, but need to be done more. Projects, explore the projects. Project one details. Can you see here interestingly? When I click on this, when I click on this, it is opening project slash one. So she can add multiple projects. Okay, that's nice. Contact, contact details, about details, home details. Looking good, but need to be better. Why? Background colors and the front ground colors are not compatible. See, देखो, welcome to home page. It is in kind of brown color, and the background is something kind of cyan color. Uh, and I don't think they are matching. Background peach and this one are not matching. Are you getting my point, sir? Okay, just to think about something to make it good. Second, welcome looks like an image. Welcome is an image. I want it to be some kind of animations. Try it something nice, cool. If you search in internet, you will get so many. It's not a big deal. Okay. Yeah, but this is really good. Next, any other? Any other, sir? Anyone more? Why? Everyone offline? What happened? Even online, only two people did. What happened to remaining people? Mahesh and all. Sir, to have an idea about color, there is a color wheel which suggests compatible colors. That is true, Mahesh. Arey, what happened, Ray? Every day, so many people used to show. Online also, Mahesh and so many people did not show today. Aki, what happened to you? Okay, don't worry. Try to think about it and make it a better tomorrow. Okay? Yeah. Let's go here. Next. Imagine using these routings and use this API. That would be too cool. Try to use the routing and try to use the API. That will give you more beneficial. Is it clear, ma? Any doubts? No. Now, next. We'll do some basic CRUD application. Everyone, listen to this. It may take it like today and tomorrow, 2 days. We will do this project only. But in this project, I will do my own backend. I will do my own front end so that I will do one full stack. The project main goal is to explain you how to do get, put, post, delete methods. That is called a CRUD application. CRUD means create, read, update, delete. Any doubt, sir? Now, at any point you get it a doubt, sir, you can let me know, and we will even make a note of it. Okay. I will write a crud.txt and in that I will make a note step by step. Now, inside the crud, I'm gonna create it two folders, front end. Once you understand this crud, almost you will get it everything in the Angular except that RxJS or something life cycle or something kind of one. Those things we'll discuss later. Okay. Mostly by end of this week, you will get it. All concepts were over, and the next week we will do some kind of next week before this kind of holiday starts and all. We will do something kind of, we will have 3 4 days, I think. We will do some kind of project. We will do some kind of interview questions and all. Mostly before the holidays, it would be done. Okay. Yeah. Now let's start, sir. Front end, back end. Mahesh is asking a question: how to do JWT authentication token? We are not doing any JWT authentication token. Why we are not doing it is, JWT authentication token will be like, backend people will give you one link. In that one token, like if you try to register, then whenever you register, one token will be generated. That token we will get it into the front end. Okay. So when people log in, people will check it like whether that particular token is matching it or not. When the matching token happens, then only it will allow you to log in, else it will not. That is called JWT authentication. Okay. Now, here we are doing something, just a JSON API. First, go to terminal, CMD, CMD बोले तो command prompt, type npm install -g JSON dash server. npm install -g JSON dash server. So I need to import here one package or one library, JSON.server. Why you need this JSON server? This is used for dummy backend. I'm not ready to do any backend code. So that's why I am creating one dummy backend code. To create dummy backend code, you can use JSON server. Okay. Now you can actually, if you are good with your backend like .NET or Python, you can create your own backend also. Okay. Now, how I will do? npm install. You can write it anywhere because -g बोले तो global JSON dash server. Tell me first step what I did. I go to the terminal. I just write it npm install -g JSON dash server. Now JSON server will be installed. Any doubts here? Any doubts, sir? No. CLS. Now there are two folders named backend and frontend. Two folders named backend and frontend, and nothing is there in frontend, nothing is there in backend, right or not? Now go to backend, create one file, db.json, create a file, db.json, db.json. Now in this db.json, this is an object. JSON बोले तो basically whole object. Inside the object, I'm gonna create one array name movies. Array name. Any doubts here? JSON बोले तो key value also will be in a string format. I am doing my database, sir, actually. See, in my database, what is the here? What is the collection I'm having it? Movies. It's like you all know, anyone knows here MongoDB. MongoDB. If you have an idea, movies is like the collection. Movies is like the collection. Now inside the collection, I can put the data. If you don't know MongoDB, it's like a table. Assume it. In movies table, we can able to give the values. Now here, inside this array, I am giving it at least one document. Each value is called one document. Let me give it here. Name of the movie or something. Title of the movie. Triple R. Year when it is released. 2023, 22, I think. Whatever it. Now next, title. Okay. The next, KGF. Year, 2018. Any doubt, sir? Here I have two documents. Here I have two documents inside the array. Inside the collection name is movies. Okay. And it is in the backend folder. Any doubts till now? Can I write that step? Go to backend folder and create a file named db.json and add some JSON data like I'm just writing it something simple. Oh, I removed this. Sorry. Any doubts, ma? Are everyone clear with the steps? Step one, any doubts? Step two, any doubts? Sir, everyone clear, sir? Third one. Now, database is created. Now, backend has to run this database. Go to terminal, go to CMD, go to command prompt. Backend folder. We have to go to backend folder and write this command JSON server db.json JSON dash watch. So first one I created this JSON server now, which is a dummy server. Now this dummy server will run my dummy database. This dummy server run my dummy database. Ultimately, I need one API key. I need one API link, right or not? Once I have a API link HTML, I know how to write it Angular using API link, right or not? Now JSON server db.json dash watch. So I will go here. I will go to terminal, new terminal, write it here. cd crud, cd backend Now I am inside the backend, sir. Inside the backend only you have this folder db.json also. So write it this command json dash server. If you want to use this JSON server, first you need to install. That's why in step one I installed it. db.json dash dash watch. Now the backend will run. Did you see backend run ma actually? Did you see one link came? Endpoint. Did you see one link came? Can you see the endpoint ma? Can I go inside this endpoint? Go here, click on this. See API came. If you go to real API also data will be like this only na? Right or not? But this is my local API. This is my local host API. What is that local host API? 3000 slash movies. 3000 slash movies. Ah. Now here there is a big problem. This JSON dash server is not for real time. Only in development purpose it will be there. Like in your system, it will work 100%. If you are going for Netlify and all, it will not work JSON server. So what I am suggesting here is to understand get, put, post, delete. I am doing this. But anyway, in your backend, you will use .NET or Python. You will create this link now on your own. And anyway, your backend will be connected to your database now. Right? So creating this link is your responsibility. I am showing it to you how I created in a dummy way. Where you can even use something called Node.js to create. Anyway, now this link is having data. Anyone doubts sir in these 3 points? Now backend हो गया, front end को जाओ. I will create the front end directly. Go to CMD. Go to CMD. Now go to CRUD. Inside the CRUD, let's start it. How do you create a new application? Sir, using this one, it is having API. Now understand, Mahesh, we are creating our own API. We can't use it someone's API. If you use it someone API, you can't do post, put, delete operations. Now, sir, I did here three things. For the persons who did not get it, listen. First one, I go to the terminal, open CMD, and write it one command npm install dash g JSON server. Second one, I went to the backend folder, created one db.json, and then write it all the things. Third one, go to the terminal backend folder, write it db.json server, JSON server watch. Automatically, your server will create one endpoint, API endpoint. You can see that your server is already created one. My server already created one API endpoint. If I go to this endpoint, I can able to see the data. I can able to see the data. Now front end can access. Imagine if I give HTTP client this data, automatically I will get these movies now in Angular, and automatically Angular will come. Interesting point is, did I add ID, sir? ID will be automatically generated in JSON. It's like MongoDB. To uniquely identify IDs will be generated. Now let's go here. Let's go to CMD. Let's go to CRUD. Let's go to CRUD. How did you create it? Again, I'm telling you. Okay, this three process, please follow this three process. Now, next, go to CRUD. How do you create Angular application? ng new ng new. You need to give app name na, right? App name I will give front end. I mean CRUD folder. CRUD folder I created using CRUD. Dekho, simple. This one only I created folder na. You can create a folder however you wanted. See ng new front end dash dash standalone equals to false. Then one folder will be created. The folder name is front end. Inside the front end, Angular application will be there. So front end is Angular application. Back end is dummy.json, db.json. Simple. Next, next. Step 4. Go to CRUD folder, create new Angular app, new Angular app using command ng new frontend dash dash standalone equals to false. The next, for the thousandth time, I'm telling it, standalone make your websites not having any modules. Our application need a module, so we are writing it, we are writing standalone as false. If you don't write it, Angular 18th version will come. Okay. Anyway, after the after I explain this CRUD application, I will explain you one more thing called RxJS. Once I done that, then most of the concepts will be over. In one day, I will tell you remaining chota topics like cycle and all. Then it will be over mostly by Thursday or Friday. Then one day I will explain it without standalone application. Without standalone. Okay. Anyway, let's go here. CRUD folder, create a new application. After I created, create a service. Create a service. How do you create a service, sir? Ng new service, service name. Sorry. Ng generate ना, भूल गया मैं. Ng generate service, service name. Simple. Same way. Go to front end, sir. Ng Ng generate. Mahesh, sir, before there is a folder named front end. I deleted it. I deleted it and created it again. I deleted the previous folder. That's why it is coming it again. Then why again application? Yeah, that's why I deleted that front end empty folder, because you if you can't it do like that, because Angular only will create the folder. If you already create a folder, then Angular will create another front end folder inside a front end. So that's why I deleted outer one. Ng generate service, and the service name is let's take it API. Service name is API, and it will create a service, sir. Very good. It created a service also. Now, after everything, you will run. How do you run? Ng serve dash o. Next, run the app. Run the app. Ng serve dash o. Understand it, sir. Where is my backend is running here? Localhost 3000 slash movies. You can see front end is running in top. So two ports running in two things. 4200 front end is running, back end is running in 3000. Any doubts here? Don't disturb them, whatever you do. If you wanted to use anything in command prompt, create a new command prompt and use it. Don't disturb them. Any doubts here? Now, let's see my front end का तरीका. This is my front end. कुछ है? नहीं. Now, let's write it, sir. Let's go to your front end. Let's go source. Let's go to app. Now here API services and all are there. Now, first thing, go to module, import HTTP client module. Because to use API, you need to use HTTP client module. Na? Did you remember? First, we need to put HTTP client module and write it in imports. Write it in imports. Go to modules, import HTTP client, Angular slash. Sir, how many services I used? I used only one till now. Okay. I used only one. Why I am not getting HTTP client module? HTTP client module. Now it will come. Okay. Now go down, write it in imports. Inside the listen. Yeah, inside the curly braces only you will write it. So almost it's like when you write it HTTP client module, it will come. Now understand it, sir. Understand it, sir. Till now, I till now I have not done anything in the front end. I just write it. And everything I write it, I wrote it here in this. I go to module and import HTTP client module and write it in imports. I write it. I imported and I wrote it. Any doubts till now? And how many services I created? Only one service. That is API service. Inside that I will write get request, port request and all. Okay. Now, next one. Go to services. Go to services. Go to service. Go to service. Import and inject. Import and inject HTTP client. Import and inject HTTP client. So sometimes app component module is not found error is coming is even though after importing currently. Sometimes it will come like that. Just run the application, it will work. Now import and inject a HTTP client and write a function to get values from API endpoint. Write a function to get the values from API endpoint. First one, what do you do? Import it. Second one, what do you do? Inject it. Import it and inject it. Did you remember what does it mean by injection, ma? What does it mean by injection? Dependency injection. भूल गया? Dependency injection. Anyone remembered? Constructor के अंदर, constructor parameter के अंदर, you will write it the value. Now you go to service. Let me go to service file. Let me go to service file. See, I am going into the service file. Service TypeScript. This is service ka TypeScript. Inside this, first import HTTP client. HTTP client I imported. After this, go down. Inside the constructor parameter, write it here private HC HTTP client. What did you write? HTTP. Any doubts here? Now, here I am writing one function. Get movies. I'm writing get movies. Now, inside the get movies, what you will write, sir? Inside the get movies, what you will write, sir? I told you if you see it clearly, देखो. Import. First one I imported. Write inject. I write it injected. Perfect. Then write a function to get the values from API endpoint. Now API endpoint क्या है? इधर देखो backend is running. In the backend, this is the API endpoint, right or not? That means in this the data is there, na? Right? So copy this link. Copy this link, my endpoint. So write it here. Return, return this dot hc dot get. I will give the link. See, your service get movies is not doing anything. Get movies is like taking the HTTP client, writing a get method to this link and returning the value. But sir, will it what it will return, sir? Anyone guess? I think I told you in last class what it will return now. Forget. Do, oh, whatever the values inside the link. No, values inside the link will not come. It will come observable. भूल गया? It will come observable. For that observable, you have to subscribe. Then only you will get the values. I am returning only observable. This observable you have to similar to promise. I think I told you. If you do fetch, you will get promise. Here you will get observable. After this CRUD application, we'll discuss in detail about these observables and all. But observable you will get. कोई doubt है इसमें? Now, this is all happening in services. Where it is happening? Services. Now go to your main app component. Go down. देखो. This is app का HTML, app का TypeScript. Go to app component, HTML and TypeScript. Now your app component TypeScript. Now your app component HTML TypeScript. Sridhar, the scope of HC is throughout the class. Yes, Sridhar, perfect. Now go here. Now inside this. Now here you have to take that service and inject it. Import. What is the service name? API service. Inside the API service, HTTP client is there. Inside the API service, HTTP client is there. Now, inside this app component, you will take the API service because services are used for common data. Why you do it services, sir? Directly in app component only you can do HTTP client na? Yes, I can do. What if tomorrow I want to make my application something better and write 3, 4 components and all components want this API data? Then I need it will be difficult now. So that's why always we will create services. Okay. Now here inside this, how do you inject a service, sir? I don't need any titles. Now go here. Constructor, private, API, API, API service. Now, कोई डाउट है? हाँ हाँ. Why I am importing API service? देखो, whenever you load your application, whenever you are loading application, you will load only app component, right or not? Only app component is coming. App component बोले तो app component का HTML, app component की TypeScript, right? App component HTML and app component TypeScript. Now you created one service. Inside the service, something called HTTP client is there. Now what this service is going to database. The service is going to database or backend, right or not? Service is connecting to backend. Is my app component connecting to backend? No. Service is connecting to. But what is showing on the screen? App component. So then app component should connect it to my service, na? Right or not? Then only it can able to get. Now, how it will connect, sir? Any service you have to inject only, na? So that's why in the service I injected HTTP client and connected the backend. In the app component, I injected this a service and then used it. Clear? This is the process. Now, any doubts? No. Any doubts, ma? No. Now, after this, here, I'm creating one empty array, sir. Okay, I'm creating one empty array, sir. I am getting disable API service. You are getting disable because you are not writing it here. Dekho, if you don't write it here, for me also disable only. Until you used it, everything will be disable only. Now here, let's create one array also name movies. There is one array named movies. Is there any value inside that? Empty way. Now dekho. Now inside this constructor, what you will do, this dot API dot get movies. But if you do get movies, what will happen? There it will go to HTTP client, get data, and it will return one observable. It will return one, right or not? Sir, if you do get movies, what will happen, sir? It will go to immediately, sir. It will go to service and it will call get movies, sir. In this get movies, what it will happen, sir? It will go to HTTP client and get this link, sir. Then it will return one observable, sir. That observable will come here. How do you solve observables? Dot subscribe. Then I will say dot subscribe. Then whatever the value I got, I will get some value. What value you will get, sir? That movies only, na? Whatever the value I get it, that whole value I will give it. Already I have one value. This dot movies. This dot movies bole to my movies. I am taking whatever I get it there into my movies. I will write it whatever I'm getting it into my movies. Oh, this dot val object is not assignable to array. Huh? Why it is coming object? Write it here any. Write it here any. Now no problem will come. Now see I called that get movies na. Automatically it will return observable na. Then I subscribe na. Then I get the data and stored it in movies na. Now where are the movies stored? Now where are the movies? All movies are stored inside the movies array. Inside the movies array. Perfect. Now, perfect. Now go to HTML, sir. Print that movies array. How do you print? How do you print, sir? How do you print an array? ng for. How do you print a movies array? Remembered. Now, movies list div hash movies. Inside that div inside this ng for let m of movies. Now that my movies are having two things. One is movies ka title and another one is year. H2 H2 m dot title. See the name should be now this is wrong. Why? Because here title is T capital. So here also it should be T capital. Paragraph year m dot year and this one I will give ID movie. So movies and movie are there. I can give CSS also if I wanted, but let's go and see my application. This is my backend, na? Can I go to front end? Can you see this? Where did I write this to? In the backend database, right or not? Sir, there is no dummy data. How do you know this spelling, sir? What do you mean by dummy data is not there? I wrote it my own dummy data, na dekho, from inside the JSON. कोई doubt है इसमें? Now this is the first operation called get. First operation called get, which is okay. Read in create, read, update, delete. चार options है इसमें read है. कोई doubt है sir? So now I will do delete also. Now I will put one button. Button में delete option दे रहा है. And I will use my own CSS to make them look good. Get means read. Perfect. Okay. Now I am going front to back now. Earlier from back actually we came front. Now I'm going it back so that you will understand it again. First, I am printing everything in HTML using movies array, right or not? How did you get movies array? Go to TypeScript. In TypeScript, you created one empty array movies. Then you injected one service. What is the service name? API service. And you write it in an instance API and you write it this dot API dot get movies. What did you write? This dot API dot. Immediately it will go to that API. And inside the API, I write it get movies. Inside the API, I write get movies. This dot HC dot get. And in this get, I write it one link. Automatically, it will return observable. Then it will come this observable subscribe. It will get the value, and that value will store it into movies, and it will print it on the screen. Only three steps. Hai. No need to get confused. It's a simple one. Okay. Slowly, if you practice it one day, you will remember it. Is it clear, ma? Okay. Now, next. I'm gonna use some small CSS sir, to make it better looking. Sir, instead of service, we can directly write API link injected into the movies. So yes, you can write it. Okay. You can write it. The problem is this. Listen, instead of that, directly in app component only I can use HTTP client. But I am just using it how to make you understand services also. That's why I write it. Okay. Imagine three, four components are there. All you want to use APIs. Then we will write it in service. Usually we will always write APIs in services only because it will be used for all components. Okay. Now, okay. Where is CSS Ray? How do we write it in real time? In real time also same. See this application exactly same. Real time. कोई फर्क नहीं होता. Only the difference is the link will change in real time. Only the link will change. Okay. Sir, that also we create empty array, sir. Yeah, we create an empty array and used it. I guess creating service is the better way. That's why I used it. Okay. Array. Array. Okay, I will do. I will do. I will do. I'm just doing the basic thing. And that's why I told you, Ray, offline people, bring it your own systems. How many people are doing in laptops? I told you from first class only. You, if you listen to the class, it will be like what? तो एक बार करना है तो हम रिपीट करूंगी और एक बार पूछना हो तो पहले से करूंगी 3, 1 FR App 20 pixel. I'm just giving some CSS, just a minute, and then I will do it for you. Don't worry. 20 pixel. 2 pixel, 3 pixel, dark. Border radius 20 pixel. Now, yeah, just I wanna do this. That's why I did. Okay. Now watch छोड़ दो. Now, पहला से anyway we will write notes ना. Notes onwards I will tell. Okay. Now, शुरू से first first what did you do? You need JSON server. You need JSON server. That's why what did you write? npm install dash g JSON server for backend. npm install dash g JSON server. Automatically JSON server will be installed. If you don't write it this dash g, it will be a problem. Globally, you need to install. Next, create one CRUD and backend folder. And inside that backend folder, you create one file db.json. Inside that db.json, you will write all of this. You will write it something like object, inside the object one movies, inside the movies one array. Do I need to write movies only, sir? No need. You can write books, comics, कुछ भी. One array. Array के अंदर objects है. कोई doubt है? कोई doubt है, sir? No. Next, you go to the command prompt and write it, sir. JSON server db.json dash dash watch. You will write it here. JSON server db.json dash dash watch. It means I am saying it in my db.json कुछ data है. JSON server run करो. Watch. Then it will go to db.json and it will create one endpoint. So endpoint is like localhost 3000 slash something like movies or something like books, whatever the name you give. If you use Python, you need to create it your own. Instead of JSON server, if you are using Python, you will create endpoint using Django or Flask. Okay. In Python, if you wanna create APIs, you need to use your own things. Ma Python, I'm not aware. Okay. Now, till now, any doubts? Now, if you do this three steps, backend आ जाता. Backend में कोई doubt नहीं. Next, front end, how you wanna decide? I will tell you. First, I put one database. Sorry, this is a backend. This backend is having one link called API, right? Now, till now it's created. Now, next one, what you will do? Create one service. How do you first start an Angular application? Start one Angular application. Inside the Angular application, create one service. How do you create service? ng generate service. So service create हुआ. Service means it will create two files. TS file spec.ts. Spec छोड़ दो. Always TS file only. Now inside the service, inject HTTP client. Inject HTTP client. Now go here. Go down. Inside the service, inject HTTP client. First, you need to write it. Go to module. Write it in your import HTTP client module and write it in imports. Then go to service, inject HTTP client, and we will write one function to get the value. Okay. Now this function, this function returns returns observable. Returns observable. Second, next, go to app component ts. We go to app component ts. We go to app component ts and import and inject our service. You created the service now. So service is touching the backend. App component is touching the service, right or not? Now you will write it your service inside the app component, and and call get function which returns observable. Obviously, I will call that get function whatever it is, and it will return one observable. Okay, and subscribe it. Subscribe, subscribe it. Get data and store it in new array. I stored it in a new array, and in HTML I will print that array. Simple. If anyone think of some diagrammatic way, it's very easy. HTML print the array using ng for. This is what I did till now, actually. Anudeep, I already mentioned all the commands in the notes. Any more? In case while you're reading this instruction, if you get it out, you can see the code also, na? My code. Abhi tak clear hai na? Okay, when do we use ngf? If you wanted any condition, Ray, if you wanted conditional rendering, you will use ngf. We are not doing any conditional rendering, na? Dekho, movies array will come only if you do like this. Then you will use ngf. Your wish. अभी तक any doubts है? Sir, कोई doubt है, sir? Now, go here, see. Now, what I will do, if I click on delete, if I click on delete, if I click on delete, what do you want it to happen, sir? If I click on delete, what do you want to happen? You want it to delete application, na? If you click on it, delete, it should delete. It should also delete from the database. You got my point? Deleting is easier, but deleting in the database is also what we want. That's what na CRUD application basically means. Now go here, delete in the backend also. Now understand it slowly. Now I will go from front to back slowly. देखो, listen. इधर एक delete button है. Okay? On click. If someone click on this, oh, sorry, not on click. You will write it click event binding. Angular na? Click delete movie. I will call one function delete movie. Did I write any function delete movie? No. Where do I have to write it? TS. Because it is a event binding. You all know this, right? Now go to TS file, write it here. One function delete movie. But where do I access the backend, sir? Which file I am accessing the backend? Services. Services is accessing the backend, na? So this one cannot access the service. First go to service. Go to service. Service will write one method. Delete. Delete data. You can put any name. Okay. Very simple. It will go return this dot hc dot delete operation. Hc dot delete operation. Now there is only one problem. If you click on delete second one, which one has to delete? Second one only, na? If you click on delete third one, which one has to delete? So that means you need to specify which one to delete, right or not? You should give something. If you don't give anything, which one to delete, it cannot able to find it. So that is why I will write it here. I will give one value ID. Okay. And here get that ID and provide in delete. You will give delete method. For delete method, you will give a specific value with the ID. Template string, write it here, slash dollar ID. For the persons who don't know, this is called template literal. In JavaScript, you will do this. तो डॉलर आईडी बोले तो क्या है सर backticks and dollar ID बोले तो if you give one it will come slash one, if you give two it will come slash two, if you give three, whatever the ID value is there it will come like that. If you don't give that dollar brackets, automatically it will come ID as ID only, like a string. Okay, that's why you have to put backticks and you have to put dollar. This one is called template literal. In JavaScript it will be available now. But sir, this is the function, sir. What is this function will do? Everyone देखो. This function, if you give ID, it will call HC, and it will do delete operation on that ID. But when you did delete operation, what you will get, sir? Observable only. What it will get? This observable it has to return. Na? It is returning na. Now go to your TypeScript. Now inside the TypeScript, what it will do? It will take one ID and it will do this dot API dot delete data. It is giving for delete data ID, and what it will return? Observable. Right or not? Now I will write it subscribe. I will write it here. What I will write it, sir? Subscribe. Now, sir, instead of ID, can we give title? You can give title also. But what if there are two movies with the same name? Because there are two movies with the same name. Forget about the movies. What if it's people? Two movies will be deleted. Okay. Or you will get an error. That kind of risk you shouldn't take it. Okay. Now go here. Subscribe. Subscribe. Now here. Imagine I get it a subscribed value. Okay. Now instead of I will print it whatever the value I got. Also, I will reload my page. I will reload my page. How do you reload my page? Window dot location dot reload. Automatically my page will be reloaded. Why you are reloading it, sir? Sir, if it is deleted, if I reload, what will happen? Again, it will call the API. Again, it will get the data. But before it's deleted, na, then next time when it is getting the data, it should not come, na. Are you getting my point? पहला पहला हम API को कॉल करे तो I got two movies. Then I deleted one and again called. Then how many movies I will get now? One. It should that is a logic I thought. Now only problem here I am passing ID, but in HTML I did not give the ID. That's why it's error. It is expecting ID. So I will give m.id. M के अंदर ID है. Right or not? Now go here. Two movies na? Can I delete KGF? KGF deleted na? Now go here. Where is the KGF value actually? db dot go here. Go here. db.json. Where is this? Where is KGF? Deleted. db.json is my database. It's deleted. Now you can see it. Now if I go to front end, triple R. Now you come here. कोई data नहीं है इसमें. This is delete operation. Everyone try it today in your local host because read and delete are easy. तो कल हम post करूंगी, put करूंगी. Okay. At that time, to understand it better, at least you should know the structure by now. Any doubts here? You can undo कुछ नहीं है भाई. डेटाबेस में डिलीट करे तो undo नहीं होता. हम खुद से क्रिएट करना. Or you can do post operation na tomorrow. Like you need to create it again post. नहीं, ये डेटाबेस है, ऐसा नहीं होता. If you deleted something, you will do control. Yes, it's created, it's deleted. Na? Now again, you need to write. Okay. Why do I wrote window.location.reload is so that to reload my page. If I don't reload, what will happen? Item will be deleted, but it will show you on the screen because it's not reloading the application. It's showing previous result. Huh. సబ్స్క్రైబ్ ఉంది. సో అకార్డింగ్ టు ద లాజిక్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ ఏదైనా చేంజ్ జరిగితే మళ్ళీ మనకి రావాలి. కానీ అది రాదు. ఎందుకు రాదనంటే నువ్వు సబ్స్క్రైబ్ ఒక ఫంక్షన్ లో రాస్తావు కదా. గెట్ డేటా నువ్వు కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ లో రాసావు. కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ అనేది ప్రతిసారి కాల్ అవ్వదు. క్లాస్ లో ఫస్ట్ టైమే కాల్ అయింది, మళ్ళీ కాల్ అవ్వదు. అందుకని రాదు. లైఫ్ సైకిల్, వన్స్ వి లెర్న్ లైఫ్ సైకిల్ మెథడ్స్, ఇఫ్ యూ రైట్ ఇట్ దట్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ ఇన్ ఎన్జీ ఆన్ ఇన్ ఇట్, దెన్ ఇట్ విల్ వర్క్ సేమ్ వే. వితౌట్ ద reload it will work. Yeah. Is it clear, ma? Yeah. That's it for today. Thank you all.